Hello students, we are again back. So I hope that you might have understood the yesterday's part which we have revised. So in that particular part we were studying about the plants which are basically dependent on others to satisfy their food demand. So two types of the plants we have seen. The first was parasite and the second was insectivorous plants. Now today I will try to make you understand one more type of living organisms which are dependent on others to satisfy their food demand. And in that case we will try to understand the next part of the chapter, and that is known as what? Saprotrophs. Now what are these saprotrophs? So you might have seen that the packets of mushroom are generally sold in the vegetable market, and they are considered to be very nutritious for our health. And these particular mushrooms, they are seen to grow in the rainy season. Which season? Rainy season. So these rainy season growing plants are generally seen on the rotten what? Wood. So you might have seen that sometimes during the rainy season the trees fall down near the rivers, and when the water flows continuously on this particular trees, it allows the growth of such type of the patches like structure which appears to be in the form of small umbrellas. You can see it in the figure that they appear like the small umbrellas, and such type of small umbrella like plants which are seen on the rotten wood are known as what? Mushrooms. Now these mushrooms, which because they grow in the on the rotten wood, in the sense that they have to be they have not been seen to grow in the agricultural fields, but they are generally seen to be grown on rotten wood, and that is why such type of plants which grows in this particular manner are known as saprotrophs. ऐसे plants को क्या कहते हैं हम लोग? Saprotrophs. Now if you also want to study one more example of this, you can take a piece of bread. एक bread का piece ले लीजिए and then put some drops of water on it and then expose it to the environment. After exposing it to the environment for some period of time, you have to keep it in a box. Take any box which is kept in your homes as a rough box, like we have a plastic box, your old lunch box, anything can be taken, and inside that particular box you have to keep this bread for near about 2 to 3 days. When you keep this particular bread inside the box for near about 2 to 3 days, you will see that it shows the presence of certain fluffy patches. In the sense, if you see it properly, you will see that कि कुछ फफून जैसा स्ट्रक्चर उस पर ग्रो होकर आ जाता है, जिसे हम फफून कहते हैं, वो स्ट्रक्चर इस पर ग्रो होकर आ जाता है, and it can be seen in the form of white, green, brown or any other color. Such type of structures which are grown in the form of fluffy patches can be observed under the microscope or under the magnifying glass, and such type of the microscopic structures which are seen only under the microscope are known as the fungi. Now you see such type of structures which is seen to be grown on this particular bread, and when you observe it under microscope, it appears to be of this particular type. So such type of structures are nothing but what? Fungus. तो हम जो ये particular structure पढ़ रहे हैं, ये this particular fungi are dependent on others to satisfy their food demand. Mushrooms were growing on wood and the fungus is growing on the bread, means they require certain raw materials for their growth, some finished products which are present in the form of certain food material. It can grow only on such materials, it cannot make its own food, and thus you will see that such type of growths are known as fungi. What do these fungi do? When they start their growth, they will start secreting certain digestive juices on dead and decaying organic matter. ये क्या करेंगे, अपनी बॉडी के थ्रू इन पर्टिकुलर मटेरियल्स के ऊपर कुछ डाइजेस्टिव जूसेस को सिक्रेट करेंगे, और ये जो डाइजेस्टिव जूसेस किसी जूस को रिलीज करेंगे, उसको फंगस जो है वो ईट, दे विल कीप ऑन ईटिंग इट, एंड दस यू विल सी दैट योर फूड मटेरियल्स गेट कम्प्लीटली डिस्ट्रॉयड. इट प्रोड्यूसेस फाउल स्मेल. हम कहते हैं ना, किसी खाने की चीज़ में ख़राब बदबू कब आती है, जब उसमें फफूंद ग्रो होने लग जाती है. तो यही तरीका है जिससे कि अगर आप खाने की भी किसी चीज़ को बहुत देर तक बाहर रखते हैं, तो इट स्टार्ट प्रोड्यूसिंग सर्टन स्मेल, and this smell which is produced by them is nothing but the growth of fungus inside it, which is present in the form of dead and decaying matter. And thus this type of mode of nutrition, in which organisms take the nutrients in the form of solution from the dead and decaying matter, will be known as what? Saprotrophic nutrition. And such type of the living organisms are known as saprotrophs. So you might have followed that such type of materials basically are grown on dead and decayed organic matter. Now you might have also seen such type of fungi growing on the pickles. You might have seen that sometimes you forget to dip the pickle inside the oil and it starts showing white colored growth on it. What is that white colored growth? This white colored growth is nothing but what? Fungus. Sometimes when you come to the school and you might have seen that your leather shoes gets completely wet inside the water. पानी के अंदर हमारे शूज़ क्या हो जाते हैं, गीले हो जाते हैं. But if this thing repeats again and again, you might have seen that it produces a white colored layer on it, and this layer is nothing but the growth of fungus. Then also some clothes which we keep inside the trunk or inside the beds for long period of time during the rainy season, we need to put them in the sun when the festivals come. In the sense, जब दिवाली आती है तो हम अपने सारे कपड़ों को धूप में लगाते हैं, और धूप में लगाने का क्या कारण है? That if some growth is seen inside it in the form of fungus, it will be killed away by the light of the sun. And that is why you will be able to see that fungus grows not only in the dead forms, but it can be seen also on the food materials, it can be seen on leather articles, it can also be seen on the clothes. So after understanding this particular thing, you might have come to know that fungus is playing a very important role in destroying or damaging the material. So we need to protect our food material and many other materials from fungus. The last type of relationship which is found to be seen in this particular case is known as symbiotic relationship. We have understood parasitic relationship, we have understood insectivorous plants in it. We have also understood that the saprotrophs are the type of living forms which grows on dead and decayed organic matter. And now we come down to the next part of this chapter, which will explain you what is symbiotic relationship. Now this symbiotic relationship is a relationship in which two partners plays an active role to benefit each other. If one benefits other, the other will benefit the first. So first and second will live in correlation with one another and will be benefiting each other. Nobody will harm the other partner, and thus such association which is seen between the two partners, in which the living in which the organisms are seen to be living together, will be known as which relationship? It will be known as symbiotic relationship. Example they want to give you, that you can take the example of algae and fungus. Algae always grows on the upper side of the plant soil surface, and fungus will grow inside the soil. So you might have seen during the rainy season that big plants like bargad or peepal or many other types of such big trees sometimes shows the presence of certain green colored patches on them, on their stem, and this patches which are seen on their body are nothing but known as lichens. What are they known as? Lichens. Now these lichens will act in the form of algae, and the fungus will grow inside the roots. Where will the fungus grow? Fungus will grow inside the roots. So how will they benefit each other? Now algae is growing on the stem of the plant and fungus is growing inside the roots. So how will they benefit each other? Whatever food is prepared by algae by the process of photosynthesis will be provided to the fungus inside the roots, so that fungus will grow inside the soil, and whatever water, minerals and various other nutrients will be absorbed by the fungus will be provided to the algae for its growth. So water and minerals are necessary for the growth of alga also, and thus both the partners are benefiting each other, and thus you will be able to see that there can be the symbiotic relationship between the plants. One is benefiting the other and other is benefiting the first. Thus you might have understood the last relationship which is seen in case of plants, and that is known as what? Symbiotic relationship. Now apart from that, they also want to tell you that how plants are being replenished. We know that our plants cannot grow without any nutrients. So whatever nutrients are present inside the soil are not more than enough for the good growth of the plant. Plants can definitely grow, because plants, you might have seen that they are also seen to be grown on the roadside, they grow near the rivers, they grow on any part of this particular land wherever the suitable conditions are available. But for the healthy and good growth of the plants, you need to do what? That you need to provide them with certain extra nutrients, and these nutrients are provided to the plants in the form of manure and fertilizers. So you might have seen the gardeners, they always keep on caring the plants. Whenever the gardener comes to your house, he will always keep on asking you that, can you bring a manure for me, can you bring some fertilizers for me, because this plant requires some additional nutrients. And that is why as soon as you provide such type of additional nutrients, the plant becomes very healthy, and it will start very good flowering, it will start showing very good growth. And thus, keeping all these particular things in mind, we need to provide either the fertilizers or the manure to our plants in the form of nutrients. Now again and again we are talking about the nutrients. So what are these nutrients which are given to the plants? These nutrients are provided to the plants in the form of nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. What are the basic three nutrients provided to the plants? Nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. According to the requirement of the plant, some plants need nitrogen for its growth, some needs potassium for its growth, and some needs phosphorus for its growth. So to enrich this particular plants with the extra nutrients, you need to provide them in the form of either manure or in the form of fertilizers. Now there are certain plants who are very much able to prepare proteins for us. You know why proteins are needed? Proteins are needed for the good growth of our body. Now this protein which is being made by the plant will be very much helpful for us. Human body is the body which cannot make its own proteins. It cannot make its own protein because we cannot breathe nitrogen, and nitrogen is the only source which is present in the air and is absorbed by the plants. So what will happen in this case? That the nitrogen gas which is available in the nature is how much percent? It is 78% in the air, and thus you will be able to see that inside the soil, in the roots of certain plants, only in the roots of certain plants, there is the presence of a special bacterium which is known as rhizobium. Which is this bacterium known as rhizobium? And this rhizobium can absorb the nitrogen and convert it into the soluble form. नाइट्रोजन अपने आप को किसी ऐसे सोल्यूबल फॉर्म में बदल लेता है जो रूट्स एब्सॉर्ब कर लेती हैं, एंड आफ्टर एब्सॉर्बिंग इट, it will be taken into the body of plant and will be helpful to make the plants like gram, peas, moong, beans and other legumes very rich in proteins. So nitrogen is converted into proteins inside the body of plants, and this proteins in the form of various products available on this earth like gram, peas, moong, beans, legumes and many types of dals which we eat in our daily life. Pulses, कई तरह की दालें हम खाते हैं, मूंग, चना दाल, मसूर दाल, तुअर दाल, all these particular dals, they are very rich sources of what? Proteins. So that is why we need to grow this particular plants, and such type of plants which are capable of absorbing the nitrogen from the atmosphere are specially known as लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट्स. कैसे प्लांट्स कहलाते हैं ये? लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट्स. कुछ प्लांट्स ऐसे होते हैं जिन्हें अगर आप ध्यान से देखिएगा तो नीचे जो रूट्स होती हैं उस पर छोटे छोटे से दाने लगे हुए होते हैं. नाउ स्मॉल टाइप्स ऑफ सच डॉट्स विच आर प्रेजेंट ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर रूट्स shows the presence of bacterias, and these bacterias are known as what? Rhizobium. उन bacterias को किस नाम से हम जानते हैं? Rhizobium. And these rhizobium are capable of absorbing the nitrogen, convert it into soluble form, which is absorbed by the plants and finally converted into proteins. And thus bacteria are playing a very good symbiotic relationship with the leguminous plants, and thus we will be able to see that such type of the important plants present on this earth are helpful to provide proteins to the living organisms. So finally in this chapter we have understood many important terms, and after understanding so many important terms you might have understood that this chapter basically carries the importance of plants. This chapter basically shows the importance of plants, and we have to always keep on growing the plants so that we will get more and more food available for us. Now children, we have done the whole chapter, revised it very well, and I told you to complete your written work also. So written work is to be completed in the systematic form, in the form of writing of all the keywords which are given here on page number 8. On page number 8 keywords are given. All of them are to be copied down in your copy. They have been already discussed, and if you do not write them properly, you will not get the actual advantage of this particular chapter, because the whole chapter has been revised in it. Apart from that children, exercise questions are also given on page number 9 and page number 10. So all these particular questions which are given, I have already given you in the form of the correct answers through some slides. So you should complete them down, write down all the questions, draw whatever diagrams which are necessary for it, and all the fill in the blanks, match the pairs. And I have also given you 2 different tests which were given in the form of MCQs. So you have to complete all this particular written work in your copies and be prepared for the July test for this chapter, because all the objective type of questions will be asked. You should be very much ready with this chapter from each and every corner. There is no compulsion that you will get the question from exercise only or you will get the question from keywords only. You can get the question from any part of the chapter. So study the chapter thoroughly and do well in your exams. I will take your test and will let you know very soon that when it will be taken. So be prepared with this chapter. Okay.